He was a baseball icon, an all-star, a World Series champion, a legend at the plate. But beneath the bright stadium lights was Gary Sheffield hiding something far more sinister: whispers of scandals, shocking accusations, crimes that could have destroyed his career. Yet somehow, he walked away untouchable. What really happened behind the scenes, and why has no one talked about this until now? Gary Sheffield, a baseball legend, a powerhouse at the plate, a World Series champion. But behind the home runs, the all-star appearances, and the millions of dollars, was a man who could not outrun trouble, arrests, controversies, scandals that rocked the baseball world, and a reputation that followed him everywhere he went. Was Gary Sheffield simply misunderstood, or was he his own worst enemy? Stick around because the truth about his past is darker than you think. It all started when Gary Sheffield was just a kid, and let's just say he was not exactly the play-by-the-rules type. Most kids who get benched sit quietly and wait for their turn. Not Sheffield. At just 11 years old, he picked up a bat and chased his coach across the field after being benched during a game. It was the first sign of a fiery temper that would define his career, but no one had any idea what was coming next. Fast forward a few years. Sheffield is 18, fresh out of high school, a top baseball prospect. But instead of making headlines for his talent, he was making headlines for assaulting a police officer. He, his uncle Dwight Gooden, who was already an MLB star, and another friend were arrested and charged with battery on a police officer and resisting arrest with violence. Sheffield pleaded, no contest. The result? 2 years of probation. You would think that would be a wake-up call, right? Well, it was not. Just a year later, while still on probation, Sheffield gets arrested again. This time, driving while intoxicated. The punishment? Another 18 months of probation. Strike 2. But Sheffield was not done. December 5th, 1993. Sheffield is pulled over doing 110 miles per hour in his Ferrari Testarossa. He fails a breathalyzer test. What does he get? More probation and community service. At this point, you have to wonder, did he even care? The pattern was clear. Sheffield kept making reckless decisions, and every time he was given another chance, he found a way to throw it away. Sheffield's attitude was not just a problem off the field, it followed him into the clubhouse. When he started his MLB career with the Milwaukee Brewers, he struggled at shortstop. Instead of working on his game, he blamed the team, suggesting that the Brewers were holding him back because of his race. And when the team moved him to third base, he was not happy about that either. Sheffield clashed with teammates, coaches, and management, constantly demanding more money, and respect. His complaints about being underpaid followed him for years, no matter where he played. Then came 2007, and Sheffield made another explosive claim. He said that Major League Baseball was drafting more Latino players because they were easier to control than black players. His words sparked outrage, and it only got worse when he accused Yankees manager Joe Torre of treating black players differently. Except for Derek Jeter, because, in Sheffield's words, Jeter wasn't all the way black. These comments added fuel to the fire, making Sheffield one of the most controversial figures in baseball. If you thought the controversy stopped there, think again. In 2001, Sheffield trained with Barry Bonds, one of baseball's most infamous figures in the steroid era. During one of their sessions, a trainer applied a special cream to Sheffield's knee, supposedly to help heal stitches. What Sheffield did not realize, or so he claimed, was that the cream contained steroids. Years later, in 2007, Sheffield was named in the Mitchell Report, which listed players suspected of using performance-enhancing drugs. Suddenly, his past accomplishments were called into question. Was he just another player who cheated the game, or was he telling the truth when he said he had no idea he was using steroids? Sheffield's personal life was not free from drama either.
In 1995, he was shot in the shoulder during an attempted robbery at a traffic light in Tampa. He survived, but the incident added another dark chapter to his story. Then, in 2005, a man was arrested and sentenced to 27 months in prison for attempting to extort Sheffield over a sex tape involving his wife. Sheffield was always in the headlines, whether it was for his troubles with the law, his outspoken personality, or his involvement in some of baseball's biggest scandals. One of the teams that hated Sheffield the most? The Milwaukee Brewers, the team that first drafted him. Fans accused Sheffield of faking injuries, making errors on purpose, and bad-mouthing the team every chance he got. He once called Milwaukee hell, which pretty much guaranteed that he would never be welcomed back. Even after he moved on to other teams, he never seemed to stick around for long. He was a Hall of Fame level talent, but no team kept him for more than 4 seasons. That alone says a lot about how difficult he was to work with. Then there was the 2005 Fenway Park incident, one of the wildest moments of Sheffield's career. While fielding a ball near the right field wall, a Red Sox fan took a swing at him. Instead of walking away, Sheffield retaliated, shoving the fan before throwing the ball back to the infield. Security rushed in, the crowd went wild, and the MLB had to step in to calm things down. It was a chaotic moment, but so fitting for a player whose career had been one controversy after another. Despite all the drama, Sheffield's numbers were Hall of Fame worthy. He hit 509 home runs, had a .299 batting average, and was one of the best hitters of his generation. But when it came time for the Baseball Hall of Fame, the voters did not forget his past. In his final year on the ballot, Sheffield got 63.9% of the vote. A great number, but not enough to get in. The reason? Steroid allegations, his attitude, the endless controversies. The same things that made him a superstar also kept him from getting baseball's highest honor. Gary Sheffield was a legend on the field and a lightning rod off of it. His career was filled with incredible highs, from winning a World Series to nearly winning a Triple Crown. But it was also filled with trouble, drama, and missed opportunities. He could have been remembered as one of the greatest ever. Instead, he is remembered as one of baseball's most controversial figures. Gary Sheffield's story is a wild mix of talent, controversy, and missed opportunities. But what do you think? Was he unfairly judged, or did he bring it all on himself?